13-time Pro Bowler, going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer, 20 NFL seasons. You know, you had one of the most intense coaches in the history of the league is Sean Payton. And that's why I love Sean. He's intense. You don't have to guess what he's thinking. Harbaugh, similarly, you know, people for years have said he's a little odd. Whatever, you know exactly what he thinks. I cannot believe how he's taken the same roster, Drew. It's the same defensive roster. Give me an idea of what by the way, Sean went to New Orleans. They were the worst team in the league. The next year, they weren't. You've been in these rebuilding things. What do you think the secret sauce with Harbaugh was?
Well, there's something to be said for accountability and consistency. And to your point, wherever Harbaugh has been, it's been a very similar formula. It's been, we are going to run the football. We're going to play great defense. And as a result of that, that will put the quarterback in a lot better situations. Yes, they do lack, I think, some top-end playmakers, on the edge with that Charger offense. And yet, if you're running the ball effectively, you're going to get some favorable matchups outside. You're going to have the ability to get guys open with play action and other things. And then it's just a matter of developing a trust and chemistry with the guys that you're throwing to and understanding the formula to winning. Just playing great defense, run the football, taking care of the football, and you're always going to be then in a position to win games. And then if you just become a master of situational football, which the guys like Belichick and Harbaugh and a few others are, then you're always in a position where you're going to have a wrinkle or two when you really need it most in order to win these football games. And that's what you're seeing right now with them.
One of the things that made your Saints great, similar to Brady, Belichick, or Andy Mahomes, is you had an identity. You guys were play designers. You were efficient. You didn't. When I watched the Saints with Drew Brees, you didn't leave anything on the editing floor. Like, I knew you were efficient. You know, I knew if you lost, somebody outplayed you. It happens. I watched Baltimore. I swear, every time they face the Steelers or the Chiefs, they lose their identity. They suddenly get finesse. They pass too much. I watched it this weekend, and suddenly they're throwing at 33. They're running at 19. There's no Derrick Henry. When you were in big games, was this something that you sometimes had that you would think, Drew, guys, we're getting away from who we are. Get back to who we are. Because Baltimore has really struggled with this in these games against Kansas City and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Look, it's to your point, it's stay true to your identity, understand what wins, and understand just who you are. And Baltimore is always going to be run the football, play great defense.
Yes.
And then the passing game and some of the flash, it comes off of that. But look, I'll say this, Pittsburgh doesn't fear Baltimore. I think there's a lot of teams that step on the field with Baltimore, and all of a sudden, you get Lamar making some plays and, Derrick Henry running downhill at you, and I'm sure they get intimidated. But I think we know by now that the Mike Tomlin-led Steelers, they don't fear anybody. They certainly don't fear anybody in the division. And I think they take pride in the fact that, they play smash mouth football, and that's just what they do. And so I think that's what you've seen in these matchups between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, is that, man, Pittsburgh is like, we're going to hit him in the mouth. We know how to play Lamar. I mean, look, he's going to make his fair share of plays, but let's try to make him do stuff that's maybe outside of his comfort zone or not, outside of their identity.
So I want you to go back to your first couple years, or maybe your first year with, and you'd already had some years in the league, so it's not perfectly analogous, but there is something that when I watched this weekend, I watched Bo Nix I'm sorry, but last 7 games, he's the best rookie quarterback. And I think we both have great admiration for Sean, that he gives Bo a couple of layups. He plays into his athletic strengths, but it's more than that. I mean, Bo looked so confident yesterday. What is the secret to the unlocking of letting you play with confidence, but yet not sloppy? You letting you take risks, but they're efficient. I feel like Bo Nix is pushing the envelope every week, but still he's not throwing picks. He's not making mistakes. Take me to that.
Well, I say this, the biggest thing for Bo Nix is what happened last week against the Kansas City Chiefs. Even though they lost that game, it certainly was through no fault of his own, right? He put his team in a position to go win that game in the end, and they got the field goal blocked. But from a confidence perspective, you basically went into Arrowhead and playing against the gold standard of organizations here in the near future, over the last few years, and you put your team in a position to go win that game. And so I think coming into this game, I think his confidence level was just at another level. And look, if you take, you knew it was going to take a little bit of time this year. Hey, he's a rookie quarterback. He's going to do rookie stuff at times. He's still developing an understanding and a comfort level with the offense. He's developing a chemistry with all of his receivers. Look, I don't think the Broncos have like any super elite, weapons outside. I think they have a bunch of big receivers that Bo Nix is now developing a trust and a confidence with. Obviously, a great coach and play caller, and a guy who also needed to get a feeling and understanding for what his quarterback could do and is capable of, and putting him in the best positions to succeed, and putting him in positions where he knows he's going to be able to limit the mistakes and kind of bring him along. And so now I think we're just starting to see. Hey, we're 10, 11 games into this thing, and this is what you're seeing, plus just the development of confidence along the way. Look, the Denver defense is playing great. I think the run game is coming along for them. And so all of those things, but most importantly, what happened last week, man, you just don't understand. You talk about moral victories, right? Like, they really should have won that game.
Oh, yeah.
QB put them in a position to game. They should have won the game. Even though they didn't, I know the feeling I would have had as Bo Nix walking in the locker room. Yes, I'm pissed off because we just lost the Chiefs. We should have won that game. Should have beat Patrick Mahomes. But in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, we can beat anybody.
Yeah. So I'm watching, I said Baltimore and Kansas City was the prize fight we were hoping Netflix would give us on Friday. Mahomes, Allen, coaching, toughness. Sometimes I feel like Josh Allen is so talented, Drew, it would be a little hard not to just take off and run. He's so big. He can do so many things. And I think sometimes you're coaching him, not coaching him down, but you're like, use your weapons. And I watched him yesterday run over the Chiefs to get to the end zone. I'm like, I'm not sure I've ever seen a quarterback that can do that. When you watch Josh Allen, what do you see?
Yeah, he's such a unique player in his physical traits. His size, his strength, his ability to throw the ball down the field, his ability to improvise. You see it time and time again, and I think the thing for him, just as he's continued to mature, is, just develop that consistency, that trust in the plan and in the formula. I think it's easy for a guy who is so used to just kind of making plays off script to too quickly at times go off script. And I think that's just, again, the maturation process of a quarterback who's coming into his own, to really, trust the system, play within the system, trust the formula. And then when there are those opportunities where you are forced to abort the pocket or, the team needs a play, you then turn it on and know, okay, now it's time to go make the play.
We'll show some video. I said Justin Herbert was great in the first half. Burrow in the second half, it felt like Michael Jordan against the Blazers. He was doing stuff like he was in a zone. And all you guys, you were a 70% completion guy, but did you ever get to a point in games where, Drew, it all worked? The ball felt better. I'm watching him make plays and I'm like, this is like a dominant high school kid. He's ad-libbing, ducking under stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I've seen a better half of football from a quarterback this year. You got into those moments. You got into those halves. And is it a rhythm thing?
Yeah, I think what was most impressive about Burrow last night is it's not that it was just everything was coming out on time, in rhythm, ball out of his hands in 2 seconds, hitting the first progression majority of the time. Most of those plays were him stepping up or, navigating receivers, the direction that he wanted them to go, avoiding, tacklers or free hitters in the pocket. Like that was the part that was most impressive. There was a lot of stuff that was off script, but it wasn't like just running around. It was like this discipline of, like, you talk about pocket presence, stepping up, avoid one guy, slide to the right, look at your second progression. No, it's not there. Step up again. Third progression. No. Okay. I'm, taking off and running right through the middle of the hashes for 15 yards, or man, buy a little bit of time to let, like it was a little bit of everything. But it was like, you talk about sustaining drives in situations where, man, he was dead to rights at times in the pocket, somehow, some way. And everything about it was just so fundamentally sound. 2 hands on the ball, like navigating it away from the defender. It was really impressive to watch.
It was. I love that play to Jamar Chase where he's in the pocket and you can see him go, hey, go over there. It's like rec basketball. Hey, bro, go over to the corner. I'll get you a 3. It's so awesome to watch that. And you had those moments. Those are the kind of moments I'm thinking a guy like you misses football, where it's like when you're in the rhythm, you're talking to you're directing traffic. You're a traffic cop. I'm sitting on the couch thinking, this is incredible what I'm watching.
Yeah, it's that flow state, that quote-unquote zone. That feels pretty good. Yeah,
Drew Brees, going to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. Love having you on, man. Appreciate seeing you again.
You too, Colin. Thanks, man.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.